Hey guys, it's Sarah, and I have been wanting to make this video for a little bit, but this is the first day in a really long time that I actually feel okay about myself. Oz is asleep, and I have a small tan, and I'm actually clean, home alone, besides Oz is asleep. Even my hair is clean, and I barely went over it with the flat iron. I don't really have any makeup on. I have mascara on. But either way, I don't know. My mom got me this new little dress. It's got pockets. It's the first time in a long time I feel good about myself, and I thought, you know what, I should make that video today because I've been wanting to do it. So I know I always preface these videos with this is my opinion, and I don't want hate from it. I'm not saying that this is the be all end all, but I just thought I would share our experience of getting pregnant this time. So as you guys know, I had Oz in 2014, September 2014. We found out in January 2014 that we were pregnant. And at that time, I was about 40 pounds lighter when we found out we were pregnant. And I was in much better shape than I am now. I was working out constantly, and my diet was pretty clean and pretty healthy, and we didn't have any trouble really getting pregnant after VSG, after I was allowed to start trying after VSG. So we started trying in October-ish. But then I had kind of waited because I knew I was going to run that half marathon in December. But then that ended up being a flop. We didn't get to do it because we had an ice storm. So anyways, I did have an HSG, which is where they run a dye through your tubes to make sure there's no blockages and to kind of clean everything out. I had that done in December. And then that was the month that we got pregnant. So, it is what it is. I don't know if it was due to the HSG, if it was due to, what exactly it was due to. I don't know if it was just, I'm sure mostly it was God's perfect timing. But either way, we didn't have any trouble. And again, I was 40 pounds lighter. This time, we didn't have any trouble. So it initially took us 5 years to have Oz. But after I lost the weight, we didn't really struggle. I did take the Clomid, although nobody else remembers that, but I did take Clomid that month in addition to having the HSG done. We got pregnant pretty quick. This time around, it wasn't as quick, and I was starting to get pretty discouraged, and a few things were going on. I was up 40 pounds from the last pregnancy that I really had not gotten off 100% completely. I had kind of bounced around. I'd kind of gone up a little bit more than 40 pounds, and I'd come down, about to 30 pounds gained. And then my body was just different. Last time I weighed what I weigh now, I didn't look this big, because I was working out all the time, and I was just in really good shape. And not to mention, after you have kids, your body changes and you spread out in places that you didn't expect to spread out. I guess I've always heard of women getting wider hips, but my body is just different this time around. So, I can't exactly tell you. So even before having Oz, after Ed and I started, after we got married, I used birth control for a very small amount of time, but I felt like a crazy person on it, so I didn't stay on it. So we used other forms of contraceptives to try to keep from getting pregnant. But we didn't stay on that for very long because we knew we were both older and we were wanting to try to have kids immediately. And then that's when we started realizing it was going to be an issue. And I went through that whole fertility thing, and we're on a host of different medications, and I just felt like a crazy person. So when we initially started, after having Oz, again, we didn't get on birth control, but we did use other forms of, we use condoms, for a long time. And I guess it was probably after his first birthday, I asked, could we please stop doing that? And it was like, sure. But at that time, we really weren't trying to get pregnant. We just were, it is what it is. So we went that second year of life with no pregnancy. So after he turned 2, which would have been in September, I had started trying to get pregnant, like keeping up with things, in like August before he turned 2. July or August before he turned 2. And by keeping up with things, I mean I was keeping up with my ovulation. I was, everything was regular and on time, but it just wasn't happening. Well, I also started eating a ketogenic diet around August. And so, I was telling you that we weren't actively trying, but I'm always trying to get pregnant. Does that make sense? If you feel me on that, you know what I mean. I hope this doesn't cut off. I 100% wholeheartedly believe that eating keto had a lot to do with getting pregnant. Now, from August to August to December, I was uber strict keto. Starting in January, I was still eating keto, but I was having a hard time staying 100% under 20 carbs every day. But I was still super low carb and for the most part, super keto. And then we got pregnant in April. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Is that right? So it took about 9 months after doing keto. I've heard of people taking like 4 to 6 months. I've heard people taking like around 8 months. I really think that had a lot to do with it. I didn't lose a tremendous amount of weight, but I saw changes in my body, and I really think that had a lot to do with it. So if you are struggling with fertility in any way, shape, or form, I 100% recommend eating a more ketogenic lifestyle, which is high fat, moderate protein, very low carb, which would be under 20-25 carbs in a day. Also, the month that we got pregnant, I was trying really hard to not get sick. And we had been taking Clomid, and I had decided I was done with that and I didn't want to take it anymore. Or again, for the 3rd month in a row. So we decided not to get Clomid. But I had done some research on taking Mucinex to loosen up the mucus in your body, and it includes all the mucus in your body. I took that twice during ovulation. You're supposed to take it for 5 days. I didn't take it for the full 5 days because I don't like the way Mucinex makes me feel, but I did take it twice. I was also taking elderberry and vitamin C along with the prenatal vitamin. Again, these are all just things that I noticed that I did different this month when we got pregnant. So yeah, I wanted to share those with you guys. I know that I'm not the only one who was on this weight loss journey to try to have a baby. So I like to share any information I can give. I was fearful that it was not going to happen. We had made a promise that if it didn't happen by the end of the year, we were going to just stop, because I'll be 38 in November, and I didn't really want to be a lot older in trying to have kids. And this pregnancy so far has been a lot harder physically than it was with Oz. 2 things I'm sure: I'm older, and I'm 40 pounds heavier this time. I'm just super tired. I also am chasing around a toddler, and I don't get a super lot of downtime. I had a full-time job before, but if I needed to take a 10-minute nap during the day, I just took a 10-minute nap during the day. I don't have those luxuries anymore. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to share that. So if you have questions, you can email me at sarlharrison@hotmail.com, or you can, leave a comment down below, or you can find me on Facebook. I'm Sarah Harrison Robison, Robison. Look me up there, send me a message. I'll be glad to help answer any questions. I just thought that it was worthy enough to share. Those things were worthy enough to share because something was different this month. And, I do believe in God's perfect timing for things. And I think it's hilarious that our due date is December 29th when I'm going to cry. When we had said, or I had said, that if it didn't happen by the end of the year, we were just going to be done. And so I think that is amazing, and I'm just tickled about it. I have a lot of guilt this time around about a lot of different things. But that's another story for a different day. But yeah, I just wanted to share what I thought helped us this time. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.